Welcome back, friends. It's been quite a week, but I'm back and I got some fun that I'm going to share with you. This week, I'm going to use one of Ellie and Mac's patterns to make my costume for Halloween. Now, I know a lot of you may not celebrate Halloween and may not dress up. However, I'm just here to share with you my journey. So if you want to hang out and see what I do, you're welcome to stick around. If not, you're still welcome to stick around. I'm going to be here anyway. I'm Nye with Ellie and Mac. Come along, friends. I decided that I was going to be a character from a film that I really liked over the years. And I liked the costumes because I really love the idea of black and white. Now I needed to find some sort of pattern that I could surplace that is from Ellie and Mac. So I decided to go with the South Shore Romper. It's actually one of my favorite rompers from Ellie and Mac, and it's comfortable and I can probably wear it outside of the holiday and still enjoy myself. I really wanted to have puffed sleeves on my romper. So what I did is I took the sleeve from the South Shore Romper and I took the sleeve from the puffed sleeve pattern. If you can see the differences in the two, this would be the area where the puffed sleeve is elongated so that it can be ruched down so that you can have the ruffle here, right? Well, the South Shore Romper doesn't have that. I also noticed that the South Shore Romper sleeve is a bit more relaxed than the puff sleeve, therefore it's quite narrow here. I need as much space as I can get. I had them guns. Pew pew, you know what I'm saying? So I had to make sure that I widened this just a little bit so I wouldn't be like, you know, those people who have so much muscles that when they try to move their arm, they split their shirt. Arr! Yeah, that's why I'm wearing a dolman right now because I got room. Just kidding. I'm not that strong or buff. I really wish I was, but I'm not. But yeah, I need to make some room in these sleeves for myself. So what I did is I took a piece of paper and I drew the regular sleeve for the South Shore Romper with one of my children's fabulous Crayola markers. Don't tell them I stole it from them. They probably won't even know the difference. They don't know half the stuff that they have until I'm ready to throw it away. Anyway, so here's the sleeve for the South Shore. And from the front, you can see where I matched the arm. See here? That I needed to add quite a bit of length to the sleeve cap here. And I widened the sleeve. If I put the puff sleeve here, you'll see how much I widened it to meet the South Shore sleeve here. Alright, so now you can see the difference. I went ahead and I transferred my markings so that I don't have to worry about not having any markings. So this was my piece for cutting my sleeves. I'm going to hold the two patterns together. Both sleeves are similar because they are cut on fold, so I don't have an issue with that. All I'm going to do is put them together side by side, or not side by side, but I will put the puff sleeve on top of the South Shore sleeve. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw out a new sleeve, which I'm going to use for my South Shore Romper so that I can have puff sleeves. Because I want to be super fancy Nancy. Okay? Just a second. I need my paper. Okay, so I can't find any of my sewing markers, but I grabbed these for my kids because they were there. I paid for them, and I gave birth to those children, and they're going to share their markers with me, okay? So I have here, and you can't see it on the paper, but right here where the underarm mark is here on the sleeve, I want to match those, okay? Because what I don't want is to have the curvature change on me. And if it does change a little bit, I'll probably just like shift it a tad if necessary, but I doubt I'm going to need to because a lot of Ellie and Mac patterns are extremely compatible with one another. So I'm going to match where the inner arm part becomes the arm curve, okay? The arm seat area. I'm gonna match those because what I really want is not necessarily a sleeve off of the puff sleeve here. I just want the puff, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw the puff on here over the top of my South Shore Romper sleeve. That way I can blend the two together. Now you don't really have to do it this way, but you know, having been someone who is not professionally schooled, I do what I want. I am very similar to my cats in that nature, and I will find a way to do it, and I will do it the way I want. And if it works out, it works out. And if it doesn't, then I go online and I try to find out a way to make it work. Right here, the really dark line I have here. So here's my puff sleeve line is the dark one. The puff sleeve line is the dark one, and the light one is the South Shore sleeve. So that's what I'm going to do. That's how I'm going to bring the two together. So I'm adding this puff to the sleeve, but I'm not adding, as you can see, the puff sleeve gets real narrow right here. I'm not going to add that. I'm just going to blend that right in. Done. So, now I have my sleeve, and I'm going to make the markings on it. Gather the cat betwixt the lines. I don't know why I love that word betwixt. It feels good when I say it. Do you have a word that you like to say? Let me know in the comments, because I have a thing for stuff like that. Like, whenever I hear a word that I don't hear very often, I'm like, ooh, I need a reason to use that word. I just used betwixt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one puff sleeve black and one puff sleeve white. So one side of my romper is going to be black and the other side is going to be white. So as you can see, I have used this pattern a few times because I like the South Shore Romper. Just going to cut these out. You don't really need to be here while I cut these out, right? Because you're going to be like, so I'm going to give you a break. I'm going to cut these out and I'll come back when I have them all cut out, okay? All right. The back of the South Shore Romper is a fold in half back, but we want to have black and white. So I had to cut two pieces for the back. Now, remember, when joining a piece that is supposed to fold, you must add a seam allowance. Otherwise, you're going to miss about ½ inch of width. So here, generally where I would fold the back and just cut it completely out, I wouldn't need a seam allowance. But since I'm going to use two pieces and then sew them together, I need to add that, you know, ½ inch to each piece so that I can sew them together and not lose any of the actual main pattern piece. And that's what I did. I cut one of each piece of the pattern in black, and I cut one of each piece in white. I'm lying. I actually cut 3 black pieces because I wasn't paying attention and did not flip my pattern piece over so that I could cut the right sides of my back of my pants. For some reason, I forgot to flip the pattern piece over and ended up with a black and a white that were both the exact same size. So we're going to be honest and say that now I'm going to have to cut another white one. So yeah, whatever. We all make mistakes, right? Because we're human. I'm over it. Now I'm going to go ahead and gather my pieces so we can start sewing. Now that I have all my pieces cut, I'm going to go ahead and give y'all a couple of tips.
So like things that I make mistakes on all the time.
1, if you're going to be making an outfit that is half and half one color pattern or fabric or what have you, just clean off the floor, tell the cats and the puppy dogs to move, have the children play in another corner of your sewing room, you know, and lay that stuff out on the floor. I made the mistake of not laying out my fabric today, and I ended up having to cut 3 legs, 2 bodices, and like an extra back. Okay, so really it serves you best to just lay it out, take the moment to lay it out so that you know that you're cutting the right pieces on the right sides. I digress. So I have all my pieces cut. I got 2 sleeves. I got 1 black leg and 1 white leg. I got 1 black side front bodice and 1 white side front bodice, and I got 2 back bodices, 1 black and 1 white. Now, I did add a 1/4 inch to what would be the folded edge of the back bodice because I wanted to put the black with the white. So instead of unfolding this to sew it to the front bodice, I have to actually sew it together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to serge it together before I put my bodice together. So I'll serge it right along this line, right sides together. If I had already sewn this together, it would look like this. So beautiful, go on, Cruella. And so when I sew them together, I want to make sure I put my black with my black and my white with my white. Ebony and ivory come together and no, I can't sing. Fine, I'll just keep sewing. I will keep my day job. Okay. So I'm going to sew it at the shoulders right here. I'm also going to take these leg pieces and I am going to sew them as well. I'll be back. Yes, I know. Don't judge my black thread. I know. I should be ashamed. I made a couple of strips because what I want is I want to put some sport stripes down the side. I'm not sure if they're going to look cute or not, but I want to go ahead and try it. So I cut some strips of fabric. These are about 1 1/4 inches. So my plan is just kind of to sew them right sides together this way and then pull the tubing out and then just kind of stitch with a long stitch down the side of the pant leg here on each side of the seam. We'll see how I feel about it when I'm done. All right, let's see how it goes. I did manage to put the stripes on my pants. Here is the neckline piece, which I have cut in black and white, and also had to remember to add to the ends to make sure I had enough to go through the whole top. So, and when I fold this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to snip just a tiny bit and flip one of the seam allowances this way and the other seam allowance this way when I fold it so it doesn't have as much bulk there in the middle. That's a little trick for you. Then I'll pin it here. No, not that way. We don't want to mess it up. No backward sewing. Okay, so we're going to pin it like that and pin it down here and then stretch it along the waist just a little bit so that it meets the curves. It's going to be more of an easing. Okay? Because if we don't do that, then it's not going to lay flat, or it's just not going to make it all the way down to the end of the area that I need it there at the bottom of the bodice front. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and take care of those things, and then I'll be back. Hi, friends. This is what I ended up with. What do you think? I have my 2-colored back, my white side, my black side, my puff sleeves, and my sport stripes down each side of my pant legs. I'm super stoked about this outfit. If you want to know where I got my fabric, I got it from MillieMayFabricShop.com. This is their jersey fleece, and it is amazing. If you are making winter leggings or leggings for the fall or colder weather, this is the fabric that you want. Let me tell you about how it feels. It is so soft and fleecy inside. Like, this is going to keep me warm. I'll probably have on a little scarf if it's a little bit chilly at night, but really, this is all I need. The South Shore Romper, two-tone style. Yeah, I can't wait for Halloween. Until then,